crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com. Good morning, Juana's a sip of coffee. Chaga coffee, as a matter of fact. I hope you guys are still taking your vitamins. It is clear that the election fight is going to turn into a COVID thing again if the bad guys lose. So make sure your body is full of vitamin D, vitamin C, but mainly vitamin D. Vitamin D. Chaga is great for flushing your shit out. Literally. But take your vitamins. Make sure you get as much sunlight as possible. I know that's an issue. I'm going to do an interview, hopefully, with my friend Cliff High about vitamins. He is the expert. I would say he's the world-renowned expert about vitamins. He's talked so much about them, and I want to get him on. I want to say hi to Cliff. So I'll reach out to him and see what he's got to say, if he's available. But I do want to talk about high noon for silver. It is high noon for silver. People are emailing me, oh my God, did you see that pop today? My answer to everybody who says that is the same. Silver's rigged. Silver's rigged if it goes up. Silver's rigged if it goes down. But why am I saying high noon for silver? We're coming into the last delivery month of year zero, 2020. Things have never, ever been better for silver to finally kick out the criminals and hit the moonshot. JP Morgan's massively on the long side of physical. Like 5 times the amount that the Hunt brothers had. Yes, I know they shut down the Hunt brothers, said they were trying to corner the market. JP Morgan has different rules for them. Sorry. And, oh, by the way, it all depends on who's in power in the presidency and how much power do the bankers have. Right now they have 100% power. Obviously they have 100% power because the whole world has shut down and the banking system is just doing fine. Stocks and bonds and all that bullshit, and gold and silver are still suppressed. Think about it. Silver's at what? 50% of its 1980 all-time high and 2011 all-time high, and gold is over double. I hope everybody swaps every single ounce of gold they have for silver. I've been getting more and more people saying, hey, what about this secret gold mine they didn't tell people about? What about this one they didn't tell people about? Yes, there's millions and millions of tons of silver, not 250,000 tons. Millions and millions of tons of, not of silver. There's millions of tons of silver. But there's millions of tons of gold. Millions of tons of gold. And silver is running out. Silver, I think the number's about right. 6 billion ounces on the planet that is usable. Obviously, all 60 billion is on the planet, but most of it's gone. Exploded in smart bombs, in the bottom of landfills, things like that. Gold, massive amounts. Silver, so let's talk about why I think it's silver, high noon for silver. As you can see today, we had a spike up, and where did it stop? Right at the 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving average has moved down from $25, and it is down at, I'll give you the exact number right here, $26.60. We are like right at it, or $24.62. We are right at it. That's where the battle is right now. Now listen to me. As they did last week, an intra-week spike up over the 50-day moving average, and then a slam down in order to get as many weak hands in. Oh, we broke the 50-day moving average, it's going to run, and then they slam it down and cover those. That's a weekly manipulation. They shut it down before Tuesday. Watch for attempted shutdown before Tuesday. But we have a different world right now. We're running out of time. There's 8, 5, and 3. 8 days left of trading on the Comex. 8 days left until the November contract is over, and all the open interest at that point in time can stand for delivery. I don't know if they will, but they can. And they usually do. Whatever's left over on the last trading day of the month before the delivery month. December's the delivery month. So that's where the battle is right now. $24.66 about is the 50-day moving average. That's why look at it. It just stopped right there. Bang. Oh, 50-day moving average. All these tech traders freak out. Will they get fleeced again by Virtu Financial and JP Morgan? I don't know. This is why it's so important to be sitting on the sidelines. Congratulations to everybody who's sitting on the sidelines with their silver under their chair saying, oh my God, thank you, Bix, for telling me that you got to be out of the markets. You got to be out of the electronic markets, get everything in your own possession, and try to ride what's coming. And what's coming is a silver moonshot like you have never, ever, ever seen before. A crypto moonshot like you have never, ever, ever seen. But the silver one is 150 years of price manipulation that has been cooped up. It is a coiled spring that's going to blow any day. We're getting to the end of the year. I said by the end of the year, I think we're going to see the breakout. The breakout would be over 50, and over 50, nobody has any rules. There's no 50-day moving average you got to hit. There's no nothing. I mean, you would have to get slammed way down. But over 50, that's why they keep two times they allowed the price to go to 50 and then slammed it down. 1980 and 2011. 2011 was Jamie Dimon put this guy named Bill Daley as Obama's chief of staff. That's what happened in 2011. In case you guys are wondering, it's all rigged. It's all a game. But that game is ending. And here is that moving average. Look at that. See what it did right here? That little spike there. Let's go to the little spike over 25. Wait, let me get a year to date. Right here. That little spike over 25 that we saw 2 weeks ago. Up and down. That was to fleece people from their money. But look where that happened to the 50-day moving average. It's down to 24.66. We are right there again. If it spikes above, I expect probably silver will run a little bit, but they can't have it run into the next 8 days. So they're going to have to slam it down again, and then they have the reporting day on Tuesday for the CFTC. Stay on the sidelines, please. I beg of you. Get your physical silver in your own possession and stay on the sidelines. If you don't have any, send an email to Andy Scheckman, Andy@milesfranklin.com, MILESFRANKLIN.com. Get your silver now. We're at another inflection point. All you people, Road to Ruta people who have a little silver but didn't get really that much, get some more. Get some more. Now is the time. Because it's either going to go down, if the bad guys had their way, they'd want to go down right to here, the 200-day moving average, which they've done before. You can see all these crossovers here before. And that's, what do you think JP Morgan was doing right here back in March of this year? They love that 200-day moving average and slam it down below to get every little bit out and then let it run. Yes, they are criminal. But now it's a little harder to be criminal for JP Morgan and friends. They got to close out their positions by Tuesday. Every Tuesday is the reporting period. And they promised the CFTC we won't do anything wrong. We won't be offsides. But we won't tell you what we do intraday. That was yesterday's post. So here we stand and look where we are as far as the potential deliveries. This is that $1 billion slam day, completely illegal, but they had to cover. So they started on the 4th and they ended it on the 10th. Will we see the same thing? Look at the volumes. Yesterday were almost nothing. Today the volumes, because there's a spike, it's going to go up. The Comex futures and options determines the price of silver, which is completely illegal in commodity law. CFTC is too stupid or too corrupt. We don't know yet. Yeah, we know. They're both. People in there, some of them are extremely stupid, and some of them watch the show, and I know who you are. But the vast majority, they're just corrupt. They know that they can't fight. Some of them feel like they can't fight the cabal's lawyers. They don't want to look like idiots, because if you're the greatest lawyer in the world, would you go work for the CFTC and make like $60,000, $70,000 a year? Or would you go work for JP Morgan and make millions of dollars a year to cover up the crimes? That's a problem we have. But hey, there is this new law called manipulative practices. They could have laid that on JP Morgan. Whatever happened to the RICO charges? Yeah, $920 billion. Who got it? The fine, the JP Morgan fine. Who got it? All right, back to, let's focus here, Bix. Look at the open interest. 80,000 contracts. 5,000 ounces per contract. That's 400 million. 400 million ounces are currently in open interest. If today was the last trading day, we'd be looking at a destruction of the entire global silver market. Why? Because that would be 400 million ounces available for delivery. How many people would take delivery? If they're smart, every single one of them. If they're criminal, they'll roll them over because they trade back and forth to each other. Keep an eye on the SLV. What happens is it's a shell game. They'll take silver out of the Comex reporting data. They don't actually move much silver at all, truthfully. They just take it out of the reporting data and they'll move it into the JP Morgan vaults. JP Morgan is in charge of SLV's inventory. This isn't rocket science, but apparently the CFTC can't figure it out. All right, but it's exciting. Why? Because look what we're at 80,000 contracts. Look at the largest delivery month this year. Remember July when all this silver was coming out? That was a total of 17,000 contracts, and we're at 80. And July, they almost didn't make it. They had to jump through a lot of hoops. JP Morgan had to give up 400. So far this year, 400 million ounces of their billion ounces of physical silver just to supply the markets. And then they didn't supply as much back in September. People had to take losses. Instead, you can close out your position and not deliver and just take a loss. The banks don't like to do that, but they had to in September, and they're going to have to in December. So, and December is usually the largest delivery month. So will we see over 17,000 silver contracts delivered, which, let's say if it's 20,000. 20,000 times 5, 2 times 5. That would be 100 million ounces in deliveries. Who's got that? There's only one entity that has that, and it's JP Morgan. Will JP Morgan give up its 100 million at the same time that the world's falling apart, or will they just hang on to it? I think they've already satisfied their agreement with the DOJ. Ted Butler believes that. I believe that too. Ted Butler called it long before. I know I keep saying Ted Butler. Nobody knows this business better than Ted Butler. Ted's the man. Out of everybody out there, all the silver gurus and silver experts, Ted Butler is the man. And anybody who doesn't understand that is just not really smart, if you ask me. But yes, Ted called it. He believed that there was an agreement made for JP Morgan to give up part of their criminal silver stash, and that's what they've done. I think they've already fulfilled that obligation, so they don't have to in December. Who can come up with 100 million ounces if it ends up at 20,000 contracts, which it very well could? It's at 80 right now. Who's going to come up with 100 million ounces of physical silver? I don't know any entity. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Keep an eye on it. I will keep you guys informed. Keep an eye on $24.66. See, look at that. It's just bouncing around the 50-day moving average. It's a game they play. And if it spikes up, don't get too excited unless it goes over $30 and holds it. And then it's like, okay, game on. And it could be game over, which would be really nice. And I think it's time. I've been saying all year, by the end of the year, if we hit over $30 silver, there is nothing stopping it. I don't think it'll stop at 50 this time. It'll hesitate at 50, but there's nobody. There's nobody available to put physical silver into the market anymore. JP Morgan will not do it. They have to save their own hide. JP Morgan looks after JP Morgan, especially if the election is not going in their favor. Their favor is obviously Joe Biden. Let's not forget the criminality of the Biden-Obama administration. By the way, Obama came out and said, Obama warns Trump's election fraud claims put U.S. democracy on a dangerous path. So counting all the votes, a recount, puts U.S. democracy on a dangerous path. Nice job, Obama. Look at that face. That is the face of the biggest criminal pedo you've ever seen in your life. These people got to go down. We are fighting hard to get there. We'll get there. They'll be judged in their afterlife anyway by themselves, and they will not be happy with what they did to humanity, in my opinion. But maybe that's why they came down. Maybe they came down here to be the bad guys so that we had someone to fight against and enrich the whole human experience. These bad guys are necessary. You can't have everybody just hunky-dory, loving, wonderful people. You don't grow. You don't understand. You have to add bad to understand the good. Read the Road to Root of Conversations with God books. There's 4 of them, by the way. All right, so obviously, Brennan came out and said, "Oh my God, we have to stop him before the election, before he opens the kimono and tells everybody the national secrets." Now Obama comes out, and here's the craziest chick ever. The Michigan Attorney General declared Thursday that President Trump's effort to force a recount in the state through the courts is racist. Oh my God. It's racist to have a recount. That's just Democrat Dana Nessel. You know why these people are saying all this stuff and all the media is freaking out about these last, 60 days of Obama's presidency? It's because they all go to jail. When they're exposed, they wouldn't just go to jail. Many will be hung for treason. Many will be hung for pedophilic activity. That's why they're freaking out. And they should freak out. We will win, my friends. We will win. I don't know if our nation will survive it. Our nation will survive. Our government might not. But life without Democrats and Republicans would be a wonderful thing. What if all the secrets were told? On the Democrat side, on the Republican side, everything was told. What if? Imagine that world. It would be crazy. We'd have to take care of ourselves. But that's where we're headed. There's no economic way through it. There's none. If Trump wins, no way. Not a chance. He built what he built on lies. The economic system is a lie. How did he build it? $6 trillion more in debt, and all went to bail out banks and to build the derivative bubble. The Democrats are 50 times worse. Joe Biden gets in. Good night, every single economic. The problem is you need the left and the right to agree to keep the manipulation going so that the system stays in place. You think either Republican or Democrat in Congress and Senate and the House of Representatives, you think they're going to agree on anything? Anything at all anymore, ever again? No, they will not. That's why Dick had a remote viewing, The Death of the Dollar, and it was all about Congress, walking out of Congress and just, oh my God, everything's over. Of course Dick's right about that. And it's a good interpretation, my friend Dick Allgaier. Anyway, yes, now's the time to build your Theta portfolio for your children, for your children's children. The Theta Guardian Node, I walk you through how to do it. Go to roadrooter.com. I am going to jump up and down and scream. Yes, yes, yes. People are going, Bix, Bitcoin's going up. Altcoins aren't doing anything. What's happening? Don't think short term. Short term is ridiculous. It's all manipulation. Short term means nothing. Think long term. What are these coins going to do? Is Bitcoin a good means of exchange? No, it's the worst means of exchange. Is Bitcoin a good store of value? I believe so. Not the greatest. I'd rather have silver. If you're going to store value, you don't need the mobility of Bitcoin. Buy silver. Litecoin, on the other hand, will adapt to the future, and we need a means of exchange. I think Litecoin is going to blow the shit out of Bitcoin. It's 250 to 1 Litecoin to Bitcoin ratio right now. That's insane. That's like back when silver to gold ratio was 120 to 1. It was wrong, and it's insane, and it's manipulation. So yes, absolutely, get some Litecoin as a means of exchange because the world's going to need a means of exchange. And then Theta, if you enjoy the internet, Theta is going to save the internet's bacon, shall we say. There's not enough room. There's not enough bandwidth on the internet. All these companies that absolutely rely on the internet would go away because there's not enough bandwidth. Theta solves that problem. Anyway, if you want to learn about it, you want to set up your own Guardian node, it's like only at 60 cents Theta right now. It's $6,000 to set up a Guardian node, mine some Theta fuel, and move forward. And by the way, between now and the end of the year, we're looking at smart contracts. What do smart contracts on Theta do? They use Theta fuel. They burn Theta fuel. You got some Theta fuel? I'm just saying. Anyway, join the Road to Ruta today. Hit subscribe today. I will actually send you a paper wallet with 25 Theta and 25 Theta fuel already loaded on the wallet. I don't send it to you. Amy does. Amy does all the work at Road to Ruta. But for every 1 year subscription, we give out Theta and Theta fuel. We gave out a tenth of Bitcoin. Now worth $1,600. For back then, I think the 1 year membership was $199 for a year, $199, and now that paper wallet's worth $1,600. I think this will go even bigger. I do believe in Michelle Whitedove's latest prediction, so 2,000 to 3,000. Let's just say, let's go lowball at $2,000 per Theta. That's what? $50,000 I'm giving away right now. No, it's not a guarantee. This is not financial advice. And yes, it will take the same kind of weighting that you took for the original Bitcoin giveaways at Road to Ruta. That was like 7 years ago. So yeah, it'll take 7 years. But hey, oh well. I've had people contact me and said, Bix, I still have this paper wallet. Is it worth anything? And I'll look up the public address. I'm like, dude, you got $1,600 right there. Don't lose it. Anyway, go to roadtoruta.com. Hit subscribe today, but also get the free public road updates when they kick me off YouTube, which they probably will pretty soon. I'm going strictly through, I'm going to get on Theta TV, working on that, but other forums, but mainly the website. I can post my videos to my own website and then send out emails. So get on the email list. Very important. Bix Weir, I will talk to you guys later.